Hello everybody, welcome back to Wisdom of Ages and another short video on our series of perimenopause and menopause. So today we're going to be talking about the big elephant in the room, and I couldn't wait to get to this topic because I know a lot of you are wondering about this because you've heard that maybe estrogen replacement therapy can cause breast cancer, and that's a big scare to most people, and you should be scared if that's what you hear. I mean, who wants to be placed on a therapy that could potentially cause breast cancer, right? So let's dive right into that today, and we're going to talk about a study. Now, this study, it was done by the WHI, the Women's Health Initiative, and it was done in 2000s. And this is the most influential study on hormone replacement therapy to date. So it was conducted, and it's one of the largest studies done, and it had more than 160,000 post-menopausal women, and it had two main groups. So there were two arms to the study. So one group used estrogen therapy alone, synthetic estrogen therapy alone, and the other used a synthetic progesterone, which was a progestin because it's synthetic, and estrogen. So one estrogen alone, the other progesterone and estrogen. So those were the two arms to this big, large study done by the Women's Health Initiative, started in 2000. So it was going on, and abruptly in 2002, so it only lasted 2 years, there were shocking reports about women that were taking the estrogen and progesterone therapy that they were having higher risk of breast cancer. So following these findings, estrogen therapy almost overnight was abruptly stopped. Every provider discontinued it, every woman discontinued it, and everyone stopped their treatment. And everyone was probably having a lot of symptoms at that time too, all at once. And, you know, if you were following the videos in the past, you know the benefit of these hormone replacements and how protective they are on your brain health, your heart health, your cognitive health, let alone all the symptoms that we have been discussing, right? So to abruptly stop these hormones, you know, that could be and was detrimental to a lot of people. So that, you know, that it only lasted 2 years, found out increased risk of breast cancer, and everything stopped. So in 2013, this study was reassessed, and there was a lot of missing information. So for one, all these women were postmenopausal. 60s and 70s, late 50s to 70s, I believe, was when these women started this. And as you know, if you were following with the other videos, a lot of this, you know, can start in your late 30s, 40s, 50s, and the most protective, cardioprotective, metabolic protective effects are within 10 years of menopause. So this study was already started on older women. So that's the first fault, okay? The second fault is that these hormones were synthetic, right? So I just discussed the differences between bioidentical and synthetic hormones. These hormones were conjugated estrogen, so horse estrogen, synthetic estrogen, right? Which comes with side effects, right, that we had talked about. So that's like the fault number 2 with this study. And it turns out that reassessing the study, they found that estrogen alone is safer than initially thought. You know, they have since revoked their statements, and they are now saying that estrogen has protective effects against breast cancer. So, you know, and now if you watched a couple of my videos in the past, I talked about how this hormone replacement therapy is FDA approved for all of these reasons that I list. And it's just a shame that this study came out incorrectly done, not studied on the correct age of women for one, and done with synthetics. So we don't use synthetics, we use bioidentical here. And so the study is just a shame because to this day, as many of you know, and you are watching this video for a reason, because you thought and think that estrogen replacement therapy can cause breast cancer, and it's all because of this study. And even providers to this day, OBGYN, PCP, they don't know the new study or the issue with the study. They just know back in 2002 what happened, and it's just off their radar. So it's awful. It's sad for a lot of women that need these replacement therapies because they're going through a lot. And tell you what, it's most women, it's most of us. Like, everyone's going to go through this at some point, some more gracefully than others. Some may not have the symptoms. Some may say, oh, I'm flying through it, I'm fine, I'm great, which is great. That's what we want. But forgetting that even though you're feeling okay, like, you don't have that estrogen in the body, the progesterone, so it's not calming you, keeping you relaxed, and not even that. Most important, it's your brain health, it's prevention from osteoporosis, it's your cardiovascular health, right? Those are the main things here. So symptom relief is one, but we want you to be protected. And rest assured, I wanted to get the elephant out of the room here and talk about this study. It's a major one, it's a big one. It did come out and say estrogen replacement therapy had an increased risk for breast cancer, and then it came out and said that, all those things that we just talked about, how wrong that was, and in fact, estrogen replacement therapy can have a protective effect, preventing breast cancer, amongst all the other things that we talked about. So I hope that helps. I hope that eases your mind a little bit to know, why is everyone talking about breast cancer and estrogen replacement therapy? This is why. That's what happened. And it's no longer in effect. The study has been revoked, okay? So I hope that helps. I hope you have a chance to connect with me if we haven't already. If you have any questions, am I not answering something, comment, below, message me. Let's get it out there. Maybe I can address it in a video. And until next time, and like always, let's strive to thrive, guys. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.